Welcome to my 375 square foot apartment in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Hi, Apartment Therapy. I'm Kayla. I lived in a lot of different apartments throughout my time in New York City being a native, so I've seen it all. From basement apartments to just apartments that generally just wasn't really getting a lot of light. So when I walked into this apartment, I knew that the place had a good energy, and I knew that it had the bones for me to do anything that I wanted to creative-wise. So this is my living room. This is probably the most energetic place in my apartment. I play music. It's really an entertainment space. I think that's why it was really important for me to lay out the couch the way that I did, is because it allows movement around this area and also separate it from the rest of the apartment that might need a bit more relaxed energy. My biggest challenge in this apartment truly is the layout. I flipped and switched and revamped this place 1,000 times before I settled on a layout that truly works for me. And I would have never honestly thought I was a terracotta girl. It was originally white and then I painted it gray, but I knew that the gray just wasn't me because I needed something a little more spicy and warm. And I actually was in the process of having a paint partnership with a company called Lick. I went on their website and I found this really awesome, warm, dusty orange color, and I did one wall and never looked back. Style is, I think it's in my bones. It's Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn has a certain je ne sais quoi, and if you've been here your whole life, you definitely just embody that, and so simply. The rug, as well as the chandelier, came from a company that I used to work for called Lulu & Georgia. My dresser is a Thomasville dresser. I scoured Facebook Marketplace and I found this dresser for $100. The coffee table also is a Facebook Market find, and I love it because I don't have all the same type of monochrome colored wood, so it's really important because this kind of shows every piece of wood. It's also marble and glass, which helps bring out a lot of the textures that actually show up in this apartment. My bike was also a gift from a Black community organization called Goodco Biking Club. And then next to it is also my plant that I found in Bed-Stuy. She's grown almost close to 10 new leaves since I've had her, so she's definitely flourishing. I think she's really happy. So my kitchen, AKA the most interesting DIY and the smallest, most used space of my home, has been a project to say the least. I was a bit nervous when I moved in that I wasn't going to be able to function in this space the way I want to and cause me to eat out. However, I've made some of my bombest meals and fried chicken meals in this apartment. It really carries a lot of soul, and it makes me feel powerful because I can do so much in such a small space. So over here is my bedroom, and I really wanted to create a simple, cozy nook in the apartment. It's the hardest wall in my apartment where I probably can never drill holes in. However, that's the perfect place for a bed in the language of feng shui. Your bed should never face the door, and it should always be on the most solid wall in your apartment. So I had to really think about the way I wanted to feel when all the lights are on this apartment, and how safe I needed to feel in the corner of this room. My light fixture is an IKEA lantern. It's a paper disposable one, and I needed it to feel more like warm, unique lighting. So I decided to bring in the scarf that I wasn't using that often and really add color and warmth to this fixture, and it became one of my best DIYs. The name of the wallpaper is Strawberry Thief. It really acts as like a bind for all the other colors in my apartment as well. It is from Lulu & Georgia, but the collection is William Morris & Co. When creating this workspace, I do work from my desk every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, but it's important for me to keep a simple space to work from. I intentionally make sure my screen isn't ever facing my bed because I never want to just have that energy flow into the same space. The desk comes from Facebook Marketplace, and it is kind of like a lacquer shiny top, so it does get scratched quite often. So I lined it with this wallpaper from a Walmart collection that Apartment Therapy actually had. I believe it was the Drew Barrymore collection. So I put it on my desk, and it definitely helps from protecting from scratch and scrapes. My workspace is simple. It's a desk, it's a chair, it's a lamp, and I can turn off my work life whenever I need to. Through this apartment, I found a greater sense of community. I lean into my neighborhood harder. My neighbors and I have a group chat, and we really just keep each other grounded. We share a lot. If I don't have a vacuum or a drill that I could just ask my neighbor. It goes back to like generation of ancestors and how we leaned on each other for resources, you know, and Crown Heights is also just that special place for me too. Another challenge when I first moved in here was definitely storage. I do have one closet, and it could have been a drawback, but like I said, I'm a girl that loves a challenge. I have a good eye for hiding clutter in the secret places under my bed. I have like 6 cans of paint under there. I have 2 large 32 pocket shoe pull out under there. One of my favorite, not talked about enough parts of my apartment is my bathroom bathtub. I'm a person, I love bubble baths on a Sunday after like unwinding from a week's worth of movement. So one of my other really secret sauces in this apartment for organization is my over-the-door closet. I saw it on Apartment Therapy Shop Talk, and it has been a game changer. When designing this apartment, having a dining room table was something that was a non-negotiable for me. I love sitting down and eating with people. I feel like it's one of the most intimate moments that you share with people. So behind the table, you'll find that it's basically the front door. So this apartment doesn't really have an entryway, and that is something that I was a little fearful for when I first moved in. But I knew that I would just have to really find the right pieces. This table is from the 1930s, and it originally was used from an artist called Olivia Kahn. So it was really important to me to leave this piece the same, because I hoped that this piece just brings me good luck in my creativity and that her soul lives in it forever. A sacred place in your home for me is a place that makes you feel like you exist in the world. It's a place that you can go back to when you need to remind yourself of who you are and the impact that you've had on other people and the impact that people have had on you. I have a few crystals, I have a small Buddha, I have my bib from my first race that I ran, and one of my favorite quotes in the world that I've had with me for a long time. The quote is by Barack Obama. Focusing your life solely on making a buck shows a certain poverty of ambition. It asks too little of yourself. Because it's only when you hitch your wagon to something larger than yourself that you realize your true potential. If I can offer you one piece of advice, it would definitely be to lean into your story. Growing up, I was adopted from a very young age, so a lot of my life I experienced a wide array of housing insecurity. And entering homes where the home was temporary, or entering home where you couldn't be your best self, you had to condense and make yourself really small. So I knew when I had the opportunity to, when I grew up, that I wanted a home where I can truly unleash and just be whoever I wanted to be, whether that's like get up in the morning and put a wig on, or get up in the morning and make an elaborate breakfast just for myself with no one telling me I couldn't do something. So being told no a lot in your life makes you really wish and long for the moment that you can make a yes for yourself. My adoption is my superpower. It's why home means so much to me. It's why I give myself the space to be. That's why I enjoy living alone, because I truly have gotten to know myself more than I ever have in my entire life. So home means 3 things to me. It means safety, it means stability, and it means soul.